back to a new week. It's actually Tuesday and we didn't vlog yesterday because we were literally just sitting down.
We got so much done there.
We got heaps done. We actually smashed out heaps of tasks yesterday. Last week we were talking about how we need to start scaling our business and we need to start thinking about ways that we can be more productive, have more output. And there's a few things that we've been thinking about and the way that we want to implement this actually practically into the business. And so we can probably go through a bit more of that, like the frameworks and the structures that we're putting in place to do that. But we just decided to set up our podcast service properly this week. We are thinking about starting podcasts for ourselves, to make them, to practice, to get really good at doing this for ourselves so we can be really good at doing it for other people. And our mics just came.
Yeah. So the usual SM7Bs. I've used them before.
Yeah, when you were living with the boys.
With the boys doing music together, but sold that one obviously. Actually, one of the boys actually took it and then he just paid us back some money. But
So we've got two of these and we're probably going to revamp our living room to be our podcast studio. So we're looking at this space.
We might do something about the wall because it's a little bit gross. We might put some backdrops in and like even behind the shelf. That's the first step, getting the equipment. And what we'll be doing next is probably just planning out the space. Maybe do some Pinterest mood boarding. I really like how Chris Williamson does his podcast. He makes it very cinematic and he actually invests a lot of budget into making things look nice. He was like 5 cameras set up with spending 20,000, 30,000 pounds on each episode. Obviously like the bigger production, but probably look at some of his stuff as well and to see how we can create that in this little space.
Try and bring some of those elements in. What time is it right now?
6:15.
It is 6:15. We've had a full day of work today and we did a bunch of creative planning this afternoon for our own content. We are trying to figure out how we make our space work to get the podcast looking really good, because obviously one thing that we really value is making things look really good, feel really good in terms of quality, crispiness, like just aesthetic wise. We want to do our best in the space that we've got. And our space is, I will say, not the most easy to work with. It's got weird angles, you know, the lighting's pretty awful. So we've come up with a plan, but it's basically rearranging our entire space to suit this podcast kind of vision that we have, and it could turn out really badly.
So let me explain to you. We did a lot of measuring, and what we kind of came up with at the end is to have the dining table set here and Sam and I sitting on the ends like Chris Williamson's podcast setup, and using that as the backdrop. And so the couch has to go, these all have to go, and then we probably will be moving the piano over to that wall and then the couch over to this wall, so that this will become our lounging space, chilling space. We don't have a TV, which is an easier thing to work with, I guess. One less limitation. And with this being empty, if the shelf at the on that side doesn't look good at the end, we can move it to that wall. And these can all stay the same, I think, unless we want
We'll figure that bit out.
More space to work with. If we end up moving the shelf there and we feel like that space doesn't look that good and then we want to use this space, this is another angle that we can test. And that means that we'll probably have to get rid of the buffet and move Sam's desk kind of towards the window. But kind of we're gonna do the first option first and then see how it looks.
You ready for a workout?
Yeah.
Oh, the stakes are high, waiting for my summer night.
So this is currently the new setup. So far it looks alright. We're thinking the podcast would look kind of like this, as the front on shot with me and Sam on the left and right. And obviously one angle kind of like that, a bit more punched in, a bit more depth of field. And then Sam's angle kind of around here as well, and trying to get that light in at the back. So we're currently at IKEA. We decided to upgrade our podcast space and to add some maybe curtains to the white wall to make it a little bit more interesting.
Like a curtain wall. Sometimes you see those nice textured backgrounds,
Yeah.
making it a bit more interesting than the boring white wall.
And because we're renting, we need to go with a rental-friendly option, which might be using 3M tapes and Velcros to stick on the wall.
We saw a cool like Instagram hack, and we were like, we can do that. We can pull that off.
Yeah. So, yeah. Wish us luck.
We have arrived at our destination.
It looks okay. Do this. Stand in front of it. All right, guys. I think we've found our winner. I think it's this one.
It's this like
Very luxe looking one. We now just need to figure out how many of these clips we need. So we're home. It's currently 10 o'clock and we got our 3M tapes from Kmart as well. And I might start doing these because, you know, we actually need to go to bed and wake up early and be productive tomorrow. But that's the wall that's going on. And we decided to just do one side, that side, and then leaving behind the shelf as it is. Yeah.
but not.
I have doubts, baby.
Why is it so fucking hard?
Like, look at how much I've done.
I know.
You've done like absolutely nothing. Even So Sam has just cleaned up the space. It's looking very nice. I'm also naked, so don't look.
So we just got back from a shoot. We've been at a shoot majority of the day today for one of our new clients, and it went really well. I find that whenever we do a shoot for a new client, the first shoot is always longer because we're getting to know how they operate. We also were doing a collab today with another person that could be a potential client. So there was a lot going on. It was a good day, but we have come home to like a bunch of deliveries, which is always fun because we are setting up our podcast space, and we got our little roadcaster for our podcast service and for our own podcast. We got a new monitor because my one broke, so it's going in. And our podcast space is slowly coming together. We're just waiting on the arms now. We've got the microphones, and this is kind of where we're going to be sitting, the backdrop. I think it's, you know, it's going to be a fun little trial and error process as we build out our
Pretty
podcast.
happy so far though.
Yeah, pretty happy. How did you go with the content shoot today? Thoughts, feelings?
So one thing that a lot of our clients tell us is like, oh, you guys are very passionate about this. I've never had any other like agency or media team like giving them the same experience. So that's something that's very good to hear from us because we're all trying to make a difference and just to really not only go there, show up with a camera, but really tell the story of their brand and help them like push forward their goals as well.
Yeah, so this week on the vlog, I guess we've been reflecting on how we do our vlog this week, and it has meant that we haven't really spent a lot of time investing in making content for the vlog. We've had a busy week of just actually doing work, and one of the things that we're pushing to prioritize at the moment is our own content and how do we make that happen for ourselves so that we can show not only, I guess, there's two purposes. We want to be able to attract people who want to work with us. We want people to want to work with us because we're creating all the time, we're innovating, we're setting this culture that, you know, is pushing for more all the time and wanting to really help people. But we also want to be making content to showcase the quality of what we do and the things that we can achieve for clients and have a level of social proof that isn't currently there. And we really believe that it should be there. And it is something that really adds merit to what you do. It makes it easy to make a decision when you work with someone when they have things to show for it. So that's why we're looking at doing the podcast. That's why we're really wanting to push our own social content and prioritizing that. We've set up every week a content like set time that we either plan, we film for each other, we film for the business, whatever it is, it has to be content related, and we have to stick to that schedule and prioritize it alongside obviously doing the work for clients, still building out our foundation. And there's a real balance of juggling these priorities that we have. But up until now, we haven't actually prioritized content as much as we should, even though we keep saying it. So we're really going to start actually following through on the things that we said we're going to do, which is prioritizing content and, really trying to push our business forward in as many ways as we can, juggling all of the things that we're working on. But content needs to be one of those top things that we do every single week.
Yeah, and to be honest, making content, I don't want to be just making content and doing what other agencies or other people are doing just for the sake of what works or what can you film throughout the day. So that's why I don't love the behind the scenes stuff. I don't love the office banter or whatever. I don't find value in a lot of them. So I really want to do something that is beneficial to, I guess, our target audience as well as what we're trying to build. Not a lot of people spend time deconstructing those emotions and thoughts and dreams and visions and how they plan to get there, and the ups and downs of building a business, because I think there's a lot to be shared, a lot to be learned, us from others and others from us, hopefully. But
Hopefully we'll be able to share a bit more of that with you guys as we go. And we really want to get more intentional with this vlog. So we want to make sure that this is engaging for people, it's valuable for people. It's not just like, a whatever vlog.
More articulation, more accurate expression of what we actually think and feel, because often when the camera's out, we can't express ourselves like we truly feel and like how we do day to day. That's something that we're working on, and as you can see, probably whenever the camera's out, we're just a little bit different, and not in a good way, a bit more timid with the vlog, just bringing you guys more energy, more consistency, and sharing more valuable insights instead of just telling you that we're going to a cafe and working. All those things are in our minds. Now we're just going to execute well and hopefully make an impact for those who are watching as well. Yeah, it's a long game. We'll be doing this for years.
You'll be able to say, I was one of the first if you subscribe now and see where we go with this journey. But our goals are big. So if you join us here, you're guaranteed to come along for a pretty good ride, I would say.
Like they say, if you're watching this right now, you're early. See you next week.
When you set me down,